how long do you think it'll take us to get around the whole patch? That's what I said to her. Just a dumb question, said half-jokingly while we were walking up the gravel path to the pumpkin patch. The air smelled like cider and wet hay, and everything had that orange dying light that only happens in late October. Lena looked at me, smirking over the rim of her paper cup. Depends on if you're good with directions, she said. She always said stuff like that, playful, just enough to poke at me. I nudged her shoulder and pretended to bump her off balance. Okay, so what are you saying? That I get lost in a straight line? She laughed. You have gotten lost in a straight line. Remember, Target, last week? You vanished for like 20 minutes. Well, okay, I was looking for the snack aisle. You were in home decor. Well, it's the same thing. She rolled her eyes, but she was smiling. That's what I liked about her. She always had that easy smile that made everything else feel smaller. The patch was crowded, but in a cozy kind of way. Families, kids, couples in sweaters, everything dipped into that saturated orange glow. There was soft country music coming from an old speaker by the cider stand, and the smell of kettle corn was everywhere. Kids were running around with painted faces, throwing tiny pumpkins at each other like snowballs. Lena stopped for a second to watch them. Her voice dropped a little when she said, You ever think about having one? What, a pumpkin? She gave me that flat stare she always did when she knew I was trying to deflect. No, idiot. A kid. Oh, I said, trying not to sound surprised. Yeah, maybe someday. She smiled again, softer this time. Someday? She repeated. Then she looked away like she was already picturing it. We walked a while like that, just talking about nothing, really. Just work, her sister's new boyfriend, that dumb TV show we swore we'd stop watching. The kind of talk that fills in empty spaces between people who actually like being together. We bought caramel apples, and she got it all over her sleeve, pretending she didn't. I took a picture of her next to the old red tractor where everyone else was posing. Then she saw the sign. Harvest Hollow Corn Maze, last entry 6:30 p.m. It was 6:24, and the patch closed at 7. Oh, we gotta do it, she said, already tugging my hand. Ugh, seriously? It's gonna be dark in like 10 minutes. Exactly, that's when it's fun. No, Lena, it's a corn maze. It's not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be confusing and full of bugs. She smiled. You scared? What? Of corn? No, please. Oh, so you're saying it'd be easy for you? Of course. I could do it blindfolded. Oh, you want to bet? I hated it when she challenged me because she knew, and I knew, that I was way too competitive. All right, you're on. We handed a 5 to the teenager at the entrance, who didn't even look up from his phone. He just waved us through the wooden archway. The sign above had peeling paint and fake cobwebs strung across it. Someone had carved the words, "See you soon," into the wood underneath. The path narrowed fast, walls of gold and brown on either side, air thick with a dry, papery smell of corn. The sound of laughter and music from the fair faded behind us until it was just us and the faded rustle of stalks brushing together. Lena walked ahead, holding her cup with both hands, steam rising into the cooling air. See, this isn't so bad. Yeah, not yet. We're still basically at the entrance. She turned, walking backwards now, her grin just visible in the dimming light. Oh, you sound nervous. Wait, no, I'm not nervous. I'm just saying I've seen enough horror movies to know how this goes. Relax. Listen, if you get lost, I'll leave a trail of candy corn for you. What? You hate candy corn. Well, I'll make an exception. The entrance of the maze looked smaller up close. Not like the towering endless kind you see in movies. It was maybe 3 acres at most, give or take. If you stood on the back of a truck, you could probably see the whole thing. It didn't look intimidating at all. More like a big square of corn planted just behind the pumpkin patch to keep people entertained. But once we stepped in, the rows swallowed the light. The stalks were taller than me, probably 8 or 9 feet, and packed so tight that even the setting sun just blended through in faint gold lines. The dirt path wound in lazy turns. It smelled like dry earth, sweet corn, and a hint of whatever cheap fog machine they'd set up somewhere near the exit. Lena clasped her hands together like we just entered Disneyland. Okay, teammate. What's the plan of attack? I don't know, walk in a straight line until we hit the edge. What? That's not a plan, that's a personality flaw. What, it still works? She laughed and bumped my shoulder. I swear, you and your shortcuts. If there's ever a trap door to hell down here, you're gonna fall through just trying to save 5 minutes. We walked a while, joking and talking, occasionally bumping into other people. A little kid wearing a dinosaur hoodie ran past us, shouting he had found a clue before disappearing around a corner. And sure enough, a few minutes later, we came across a wooden post with a weathered sign nailed to it. Someone had burned the words into the wood. Find the scarecrow and take a right. You'll be on the right track. Lena leaned in, reading it aloud in a mock spooky tone. Ooh, mysterious. It's literally telling us what to do. It kind of defeats the purpose of a maze.
Well, maybe that's the trick. Maybe everyone else takes a right, so the real way's left.
Okay, wow. You have thought about this way too much.
Oh, or maybe I'm just smarter than you.
Nah, impossible. I went to community college. She rolled her eyes but laughed.
Okay, Einstein, lead the way.
We followed the path for a while, the light dimming by the minute. The golden color of the corn was fading into this dull brown, and the air felt cooler, like the maze was breathing around us. Still, it was nice, just us, the sound of the crunching dirt, and the fading hum of the wind through the dry leaves. Now, I don't remember what started it. I think I made a joke about how she always had to overcomplicate things or something like that. Just a stupid passing comment. But she stopped walking.
Wow.
What?
Nothing. I just thought, maybe this was supposed to be fun.
What? It is fun.
Well, you don't sound like it.
Lena, I didn't mean it like that. She kept walking ahead, faster now, her hair catching the little bits of light through the corn. I caught up beside her, trying to make it right, but she wasn't looking at me. We reached another turn, and there it was, a scarecrow. It stood crooked on a wooden post in the center of the small clearing. Its clothes were torn, the flannel stiff with dirt, the straw hands sticking out like claws. Its face was a burlap sack with a rough smile stitched across it, wide and uneven. Someone had shoved a broken pumpkin bucket into its hand like it was a trick-or-treat prop. Lena stopped in front of it, arms folded tight, jaw trembling just enough for me to notice. Hey, I didn't mean to sound like an ass back there. She didn't say anything for a moment. Then, quietly,
I was really excited, You never do this kind of stuff with me. I was just happy to have you on my team.
Lena.
Well, I don't want to be on your team if you're just going to be mean. You know what? Go find your own way.
Before I got a chance to answer, she turned right, the direction the sign had said to go, and started walking fast, her sneakers scuffing the dirt. I called for her once, then again. She didn't look back. I stared down the path that she'd taken. The corn shifted in the wind, whispering like waves. And something about it made my chest tighten. Fine. You go right, I'll go left. It was supposed to be petty, one of those short, stupid arguments that blows over in 10 minutes. But as soon as I turned down the left path, I realized I couldn't hear her footsteps anymore. Just corn, moving, everywhere. I'd only gone a few turns when the guilt hit. The corn pressed close on both sides, every rustling sound like it was a whisper about me. I kicked the rock just to hear something else. Why did I always have to act like that? She was just trying to have fun. She took me out here because she wanted a memory. One of those small, harmless autumn nights you can look back on later and smile about. And I ruined it over nothing. I slowed down, dragging my hand against the stalks as I walked. The leaves were dry and sharp, catching my sleeves. I thought about the look on her face when she said she was so excited to be on my team. She really meant it, and I just brushed it off like an idiot. Maybe I should have followed her. The path curved left, then left again, forming a narrow tunnel where the corn leaned in overhead. I kept expecting to hear her laugh somewhere ahead. That quick, nervous kind of laugh she did when she was pretending not to be mad. But the maze was silent except for the wind weaving through the rows. After a few minutes, I saw another wooden post sticking out of the dirt. A sign hung crooked on it, carved in the same way as the first one. The letters burned into the wood with uneven black lines. If you took the left, you've lost your way. The right path's gone, you've gone astray. The scarecrow waits, his toll to claim. So pay the price, or play his game. I stared at it, half expecting Lena to jump out and laugh, telling me it was all part of the attraction. But the sign didn't look new. The wood was weathered, splintered edges, soft, like it had been sitting there for years. A faint sound rippled through the rows. Not quite footsteps, not quite wind. Like something moving slow, dragging against the dirt. I took a step back. "Lena?" No answer, just the maze breathing. I glanced over my shoulder, then looked down the path ahead. Both directions looked the same, walls of corn, narrow and endless. The sky above was barely visible, a smear of gray and a dull orange fading fast. I turned my phone flashlight on and kept walking, my shoes crushing the dry dirt in slow, careful steps. Every few seconds, I looked back, thinking maybe I'd see her. But it was just me and the whispering. Somewhere, deep in the maze, something rustled like fabric on wood. A slow scraping shuffle that stopped when I did. I was getting kind of nervous as I kept walking. The air felt heavier now, like the dirt itself was damp. My flashlight beam looked weaker, like it was struggling to cut through the dark. I tried telling myself it was fine, that Lena was probably already near the exit waiting for me, maybe even laughing about how I'd gotten turned around. Then I heard my name. It was faint, just a soft call through the corn, but something about it made my stomach twist. She didn't sound mad anymore. She sounded scared. "Lena!" I shouted, spinning towards the sound. No answer, just another whisper of my name. That's when I started running, partly towards her and partly away from whatever might have been making that sound behind me. The path blurred in front of me. The corn was closing in from both sides. I could barely see. Every few steps I thought I heard her again, but it kept changing directions. Left, right, behind me. "Lena, where are you?" I turned the corner too fast, missed my footing, and went down hard. My shoulder slammed into the dirt and the side of my head cracked against something solid. Maybe a root, maybe a rock. For a second, all I saw were sparks. Then nothing. Just black. When I opened my eyes again, I didn't know where I was. My head was pounding, this deep, dizzy throb that made everything spin. All I could see was darkness with a faint blue tint bleeding across the ground. I rolled onto my side, groaning, and something tall loomed right beside me. My breath caught, my heart slammed against my ribs. Then my eyes adjusted. It was a cornstalk. I exhaled and rubbed my temple, trying to shake it off. My hand came away dirty, and I could feel the dried blood crusted just above my eyebrow. That's when it hit me. The blue light wasn't from anything in the maze. It was the moon, full, pale, and high above me. I shot upright, adrenaline tearing through the fog in my head. My thoughts started to tumble in all at once. How long was I out? Did anyone find me? The patch has to be closed by now. Where's Lena? "Lena!" I shouted, but the words broke apart in my throat. Silence. I looked around, turning in circles, trying to get my bearings, but every path looked identical. I couldn't even tell where I'd fallen. Okay, screw the maze. I didn't care about the stupid clues or the signs anymore. I just needed to find Lena and get out. I ran until I saw the faint shape of the wooden clue post I ran into before. I sprinted toward it, grabbed the edges and climbed up, balancing on the narrow crossbeam so I could see above the rows. When my head cleared the top of the corn, my breath froze as far as the eye could see in every direction. There was only corn.